Welcome to Asian Star Trend. Our channel updates hot news about Asia's most popular stars. Please subscribe and comment to help us update better videos. A vow without words, the wedding veil scene that captivated a nation. It began with a single, silent gesture, Yulong lifting the red bridal veil of Miemie. No dramatic music. No spoken lines. Yet the world stopped for a moment. What was meant to be a stylized wedding shoot unfolded like a timeless love story, quietly captivating millions. In that stillness, something deeper than performance emerged, a vow unspoken, a reunion that felt both ancient and intimate. Viewers didn't just see the moment, they felt it as if witnessing a memory they never had, but somehow recognized the image of Yulong, steady and composed, gently unveiling Miemie, soft-eyed and trembling like a spring breeze, spoke to something primal. He stood like a mountain, unwavering. She flowed like water, tender and bright. It wasn't staged romance, it was soul recognition. And when the red veil slipped away and the sword-shaped pendant swayed, it was more than a visual flourish. It was a silent symbol of promise, protection, and fate. The scene unfurled like a scroll of ink and wash poetry, each frame pulsing with longing and grace. Audiences were left breathless, not just by beauty, but by meaning. In a world saturated with empty spectacle, here was something real, a reminder that love, when pure and patient, doesn't need to shout. It only needs to be felt. And when the moment faded, many realized they hadn't just watched a scene. They'd witnessed the kind of love they secretly hoped still existed. When tradition meets timeless love, the scene that stirred a nation, draped in a crimson wedding robe adorned with golden dragons and phoenixes, Yulong stood like a relic brought to life, steady as a pine, solemn as of now. Each step he took echoed the weight of centuries. This was not merely a groom walking toward his bride, but a gentleman from another era, carrying the essence of ancestral grace and the sacred duty of love. In his gaze, tenderness met destiny, a rare balance of passion and purpose. Across from him, Miemie appeared like the incarnation of an ancient poem. Clad in a traditional red cloak and a phoenix coronet, she did not need to speak, her silence sang. Every blink, every subtle movement radiated the quiet strength of Eastern femininity, reserved, enduring, deeply moving. She was not a modern beauty demanding attention, but one who invited contemplation. Like the soft rain that nourishes without thunder, the red they wore was not mere ceremony. It was living emotion, warmth passed down through generations, a color of both celebration and solemn promise. As they stood together, it felt less like a photo shoot and more like stepping into a forgotten legend. Viewers were left spellbound, not just by the visual elegance, but by what it meant. In that stillness, something stirred, a recognition of love as a sacred vow, not a fleeting display. It was a reminder that even in a fast-moving world, some feelings remain eternal. Watching them was not just witnessing beauty, it was remembering what love should feel like. The gaze that silenced the internet, Yulong and Miemie's unspoken vow. The shoot was exquisite, the deep reds, the embroidered robes, the ancestral motifs, every detail rooted in tradition, as if love itself demanded ritual. But what truly moved millions wasn't the ornate costumes or the cinematic composition. It was a single, silent gaze. When Yulong looked at Miemie, the noise of the world fell away. No script, no pretense, just a raw, unfiltered expression of devotion. In his eyes lived 1,000 unspoken promises: love, protection, permanence. It wasn't performance, it was presence. That quiet intensity held more weight than any line of dialogue ever could. Miemie, veiled in red, stood still like a painting waiting to be revealed. And when Yulong slowly lifted that veil, it was as if time itself paused. The hovering fabric, the subtle shift of light, and above all his gaze created a moment that needed no music. That look alone became a love song, whispered into the hearts of millions. Audiences didn't just watch, they felt. This wasn't about drama or spectacle. It was about the truth that real love doesn't need to declare itself loudly. Sometimes, all it takes is a look, honest, steady, eternal. In that breathless stillness, people found something rare, a glimpse of a bond untouched by the chaos of the world. And perhaps, in watching them, many were reminded of the love they still seek, or the one they've quietly held onto all along. Love and stillness, the unspoken power behind Yulong and Miemie's wedding shoot. It wasn't just a photo. It was a feeling captured in a raised hand, a gentle lean, a gaze that held years of quiet understanding. This was no scripted act. It was a moment long awaited, like finally reaching the one you've searched for through seasons of longing and stepping hand in hand into the next chapter of life in a world obsessed with spectacle, where wedding shoots grow louder and more extravagant by the year. Yulong and Yang Miemie chose stillness. Their Chinese-style shoot didn't shout for attention, it whispered, like a spring breeze over still water. Amid an age of digital overload, this shoot felt like a clear spring, simple, timeless, quietly profound. Dressed in traditional red makeup and flowing robes, they didn't play characters. They were simply two souls in sync, tender, sincere, and unafraid to be seen. The camera didn't capture poses. It captured presence. In each frame, there was not performance, but truth. Their love story wasn't told through grand gestures but through the subtle language of Eastern artistry, restraint, elegance, and emotional honesty. The beauty here wasn't loud or lavish. It was the kind that lingers, like the final lines of a poem that stay with you long after the page turns. This was more than a visual feast. It was a reminder: the deepest love doesn't demand attention. It reveals itself in stillness, in depth, in the quiet courage to simply be. And in that, it moves us not by dazzling the eye, but by touching the soul. Yulong and Yang Miemie, the wedding shoot that made us believe in love again. Just a gaze, a smile, a tightly held hand. That's all it took. Yulong and Yang Miemie didn't set out to dazzle, they simply showed up as themselves. Their wedding shoot wasn't about showcasing joy for the world to admire. It was about telling a quiet, powerful truth: love doesn't need to be loud to be lasting. The moment the photos hit the internet, a wave of emotion followed. Platforms from Weibo lit up. Was this a real wedding? A film promotion? No, just two people, no script, no agenda, allowing their connection to speak for itself. In each frame, they looked like any of us when we're in love, tender, raw, vulnerable, and proud to be seen. Not everyone will wear a phoenix crown or stand beneath a red veil. But everyone deserves to be looked at the way Yulong looked at Yang Miemie, with softness, certainty, and a love that says, "I choose you." Their shoot didn't just trend because it was beautiful. It resonated because it was earned. Fans had followed their journey, the stolen glances on set, the quiet interactions backstage. Over time, people projected their own hopes onto this pair, and the wedding shoot felt like a long-awaited reply. A quiet confirmation that, yes, this feeling is real. And yes, it's possible this wasn't just a visual feast. It was emotional healing. In a time where love is often filtered, staged, or sold, this shoot brought back something sacred: sincerity. One comment said it best: "He's not acting." That's how a man looks at the woman who holds his future, and maybe, just maybe, that's what we're all waiting for. Not a fairy tale with castles, but a photo that captures something real enough to believe in again.